Red and blue lights danced across the asphalt, strobing over the windshield of the car I had just pulled over. Routine stop. Speeding, nothing more, until I saw who was behind the wheel. My wife. Her hands gripped the steering wheel, so tightly her knuckles were white. Beside her sat a man I didn't recognize. He didn't flinch, didn't move, just smiled, a smile that felt completely out of place. License and registration. I said, voice flat, professional. Her fingers shook as she fumbled for her purse. The man next to her slowly turned his head toward me, as though he'd been waiting for this exact moment. Then my partner arrived. One look inside, and everything shifted. He drew his weapon, aimed it straight at the passenger's chest. "Back off," he barked. The stranger laughed, cold, measured. "Unfortunately, you're late." I didn't understand at first. Not yet. Then my wife leaned forward, and I saw it. Her back, the bruises. Old, layered, hidden until now. Something inside me went quiet. I should have asked questions, should have reacted. But the silence between us was heavier than any scream. She didn't look at me. Not once. Her eyes stayed locked on the dash, as if acknowledging me would burn her alive. And him? He just sat there, smug, as though the entire night had been orchestrated by him. Later, when the car was impounded and my partner and I stood in the dark parking lot with unanswered questions, I replayed every detail. The way she flinched when his hand brushed hers. The way her lips parted but no sound came. She hadn't been caught speeding. She had been running. And I had been too blind to notice. The betrayal wasn't simple infidelity. It was darker, twisted. She had let him into her life, and he had left his mark where I was supposed to protect her. I didn't confront her immediately. I went home, sat in the silence of our bedroom, ran my hand over the side of the bed. She no longer occupied. Then I started pulling at the threads, phone records, credit card statements, patterns revealing nights away, unexplained charges, a second phone. Every breadcrumb led back to him. A man with no real name, no fixed address, a history buried in seal files, violence, extortion, recruitment. She hadn't fallen in love. She had fallen into a trap. And the part that gutted me wasn't her weakness. It was a choice she made when she realized who he was. She didn't run to me. She didn't trust me. She let him own her. And in her silence, she betrayed me more deeply than her body ever could. 2 weeks later, the file landed on my desk. Everything was there, photos, depositions, proof that he wasn't a stranger to manipulation. He made women into shields, into weapons, into shadows of themselves. My wife was now one of them. I didn't ask her if it was true. I didn't give her the chance to lie. I laid the file on the kitchen table. Her eyes dropped to the photographs, the signatures, the evidence. Her lips trembled. A single word escaped, barely audible. Please. That was all. No denial, no explanation. I said nothing. I just watched as she crumbled under the weight of the truth. The next day, I brought the file to Internal Affairs. Not against her, but him. Names, connections. Evidence tying him to cases buried in silence. He wasn't just her secret. He was a rot spreading through the system I had sworn to protect. She knew I had the power to destroy him. When she begged me not to, reaching for my hand with the same trembling fingers that had once touched me with love, I didn't move. I looked at her, steady, detached. "You chose him," I said. And with that, I walked away. He was arrested 3 nights later. I didn't go to the trial. I didn't need to. His smirk would be gone by then, replaced by hollow eyes, the look of a man who had finally run out of masks. As for her, she left the house before dawn one morning, taking nothing but a suitcase. No note, no apology. The bed is cold now, the silence louder. But it's a silence I can live with, because I've learned something about betrayal. It doesn't scream. It doesn't fight. It sits quietly beside you until one day you finally see the bruises. And once you see them, you can never unsee them.